When did you start riding horses?
When I was 3.
How were you introduced to it?
Well, actually, it didn't start out as my passion. My mom introduced me to it, and she was driving down the road and saw some sign where they were doing lessons, and she took me there, so it's been my passion since then.
When did you start barrel racing?
Gosh, a couple years ago, probably when I was about 10.
How were you introduced to that?
Me and my friend one summer were watching videos on YouTube, and we saw some barrel racers, and we're like, oh, we want to do that. So yeah,
What's your favorite thing about racing?
the adrenaline.
I was 20 and she was 18. We were just about as wild as we were green in the ways of the world. She picked me up in that red rag top. We were free.
There's always going to be people who doubt you. People doubted me because I was 3 when I started out and I was itty bitty. But, I mean, hey, that didn't stop me from doing what I love. When did you start riding horses?
I started riding when I was 4.
How were you introduced to it?
My cousin put me on my first horse because she had one.
When did you start barrel racing?
About a year ago.
And how were you introduced to that?
I went to a lot of rodeos and I decided I wanted to be in one.
What's your favorite thing about barrel racing?
The speed and the adrenaline that you get.
Running all the red lights. We parked way out in a clearing in a grove, and the night was as hot as a coal burning stove. We were cooking with gas. Knew it had to last. In the back of that red rag.
How did you guys meet? Okay, well, it's actually funny because I saw her walking around school and she was wearing belt and boots, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to be her friend.
She said, please don't stop. Well, the very first time her mother met me, her green-eyed girl had been a mother-to-be for 2 weeks. I was out of the job and she was in school, and life was fast and the world was cruel. We were young and wild. We decided not to have a child. So we did what we did and we tried to forget, and we swore up and down there would be no regret.
Go get that cowgirl a hand.
I think I have a connection with each horse that I come across. I get attached too easily.
Is there such thing as a good or bad horse?
Yes, but I wouldn't say we call them good or bad.
I think all horses are good. They're just different horses are cut out for different things. So there's like a horse that can be bad for barrel racing, like
Yeah.
good for like working with cows.
Yeah, and some people can have a really, what we call hot barrel horse, where they have pretty much a temper tantrum and won't be still before you go out into the barrels. It can be really bad.
They're like freaking out in the chute, and you're trying to
Yeah.
stay on because they're not stopping until they can go.
Yep. And I'd say, I guess as far as a bad horse goes, I wouldn't call it bad, I'd just maybe call it not broke, when
Or
they're
like-
young and spunky and unruly, but
Or like
you
they
can
don't know
fix that.
manners.
Yeah, you can fix that.
How
All
far
the
do you
way.
think?
Pro card for sure.
Definitely. My dream is Calgary. What about yours? Big Calgary rodeo?
Probably, yeah.
Or Cheyenne?
Oh gosh. Both?
Well, I want to live in Wyoming, so Cheyenne's gonna be like right there.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely want to become pro. Probably be a career for a while.
Definitely.
Do you support your sister in barrel racing?
I do like to, because she's my sister, and I like to watch her because I also ride too. And it's actually very fun to watch her, and it's really good to see how she does it and how she actually barrel races. And because I learned from her.
We decided not to have a child. So we did what we did and we tried to forget, and we swore up and down there would be no regrets in the morning light. But on the way home that night, on the back of that red ragtop, she said, please don't stop loving me. We took one more trip around the sun, but it was all make-believe in the end. No, I can't say where she is today. I can't remember who I was back then. Well, you do what you do and you pay for your...
When did Winter's passion for riding start?
Winter's passion for riding started when she was around 4 years old. Me and her mom took her to visit a horse farm, and she fell in love with the horses at that point, and it was just something that she was always drawn to from that point on.
What do you think about winter barrel racing?
I think it's very exciting. It's also very dangerous, and as a mother, it worries me that she could get hurt. It's been a dream of Winter's to barrel race for years, and as long as her passion continues to barrel race, we'll always support her and love her.
Well, you do what you do and you pay for your sins, and there's no such thing as what might have been. That's a waste of time, drive you out of your mind. I was stopped at a red light just yesterday beside a young girl in a cabriolet, and her eyes were green, and I was in an old Saint. I was back in that.
I think Winter's love for animals is something that's always came natural to her because she's loved animals ever since she was a little child. And when she first started being around horses, there was definitely a natural ability there, but her skills to get her to where she was at today has definitely been something she's had to practice, and it's been a progression to this point.
Don't record that. But is there anything I see?
No.
Hold on, I gotta think. I have to have cue cards.
Go.
It's also very dangerous, and as a mother, it worries me that she could get hurt. Yeah.
What was the question?
I had to make a couple bands for my lonely. Horses.
Ponies. Just kidding. Ponies are stubborn.
Okay, so what was the question again?
Oh,
Difference in English and
Yeah,
Western.
yeah.
Alrighty. Let's look up on there.
Okay.